Hey, hockey fans, February 29th, there were 12 games. Uh, Bit of a rough day at the office, but not a terrible day at the office because there was lots of hockey on. Anyway, I went 5-7. So we'll just review the scores quick and then we'll get on to the picks for March 1st. New month, new opportunities to make some money. Uh, First game, Boston beat the Islanders 4-0. Los Angeles over New Jersey in overtime 2-1. Tampa over Calgary 4-3. Chicago, nice shootout victory over Florida 3-2. Colorado 3-2 over Nashville. Toronto doubled up Vancouver 4-2. Carolina lost to Montreal in overtime 4-3. Ottawa over Detroit in the shootout 4-3. Arizona over Buffalo 5-2. St. Louis over Dallas 4-3. Edmonton over Winnipeg 3-2. So my best bet failed. And Pittsburgh. I do not know what's going on with Pittsburgh. And in my last video, I made a comment that if Pittsburgh failed me, I wouldn't bet on them again. And that's going to be hard to do. But you got to be a man of your word. So I'm not going to bet on Pittsburgh again. And if they keep playing the way they are, then I'm probably making a good decision. And I don't know what it is. I know the puck's not bouncing in their favor. I mean, I've seen them hit the post and all kinds of crazy stuff. But their goaltending's not good. The goaltender's not getting any support. The players aren't supporting one another. They're not putting the pucks in the net. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many issues there. I think they're still third in the Metropolitan right now. But if they don't watch it, that's going to change in a hurry. So yeah, anyway, disappointed. They lost to San Jose. My best bet record 6-5, current 1 game losing streak. On my bets that I listed, I got 2 of them. I lost 2 of them, so 2-2 on my bets. I didn't get the Islanders or my Ottawa bet, but I did get my Chicago and my Leafs bet. So made a bet, lost a bet. It's what it is. March 1st, 2020. Again, new month, new opportunities. I want to make a quick word to some of the guys who are mentioning my name. I think that's really cool, and I appreciate it very much. Capper comparison picks, pearls of wisdom. It's awesome. I think the one guy said we're a bit of a community, and that is kind of true. We're just trying to make some money, have some fun, and enjoy sports. Nothing wrong with that. So anyway, thanks, and back at you. On to the picks for March 1st. Philly against the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers are 8-2-0 in their last 10 with a current 1 game losing streak. Georgiev is listed as probable, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Lundqvist play here. I guess we won't know till tomorrow, but that's what I think. Against a Philly team that's 8-2-0, current 5 game winning streak. Hart has been confirmed in net for Philly. The last game that both these teams played was against one another, and Philly took that game 5-2. The Flyers have won both games that these teams have played, a 5-1 victory in December, and then, again, the most recent one, 5-2. And we always talk about how good the Flyers are at home. But if we look at just the month of February, they're playing good on the road now, too. I mean, in the month of February, they're 4-2-0 just on their road games. So you combine that with the fact that Chesterkin is still out, that Kreider is out with a fractured foot. So this Rangers team has got some holes, and I think some of these holes they have right now were big contributing factors to the success that they were having. So I think Philly's going to capitalize on that, go into New York and beat them. So my first pick, I'm going to take Philly to beat the Rangers. Calgary against Florida, second game. Florida 4-5-1, current overtime decision. Montalban is listed as probable for Florida, and their last game was a loss to Chicago, 3-2 in a shootout. Calgary 5-4-1 in their last 10, current 1 game losing streak. They're in a wild card position, and Talbot is listed as probable in net for Calgary. Their last game was a loss to Tampa 4-3. Flames lead the season series with a 6-5 win back in October. I think Florida's going to come out on fire on this game. I think this game is that game that decides whether or not they're going to make a run at all. And I think that they still believe that they can. They've definitely had some stumbles lately, but I'm going to take Florida at home to beat Calgary for my second pick. Third game, Vancouver against Columbus. Columbus, I think, is pretty close to that club with Pittsburgh. They're in a wild card position, but that's going to change really quick if they don't figure things out. In their last 10, they're 1-4-5, current 2 game losing streak. Merzlikins is listed as probable. I think he's still questionable, but we'll see if he plays. Their last game was a loss to Minnesota 5-0. Vancouver, 4-5-1 in their last 10, current 2-game losing streak. Third in the Pacific. Demko is listed as probable in net for Vancouver. And their last game was a loss to Toronto, 4-2. I think Vancouver definitely played better against Toronto than they did when they played Ottawa. So I see that they did fix some of the things that I think that they needed to work on. These teams haven't played each other. And I don't know if Merzlikins is in net, if that's even enough. And I think this Vancouver club will build off the decent play they had against Toronto. And I think they'll go on and they'll go into Columbus and try to get some points on this road trip and beat Columbus. So my third pick, I'm going to take Vancouver. Fourth game, it's not really much to talk about. Neither one of these teams are doing much. Anaheim and New Jersey. Anaheim 4-4-2 in their last 10, current 2-game winning streak. Gibson is listed as probable. Their last game was a 3-2 win over Pittsburgh. New Jersey 5-3-2 in their last 10 with a current streak of 2 overtime decisions. Schneider is listed as probable in net, and their last game was a loss to the Kings, where they lost 2-1. And again, neither one of these teams they're going to go out and play a game of hockey, and I'm going to take New Jersey. I'm going to call New Jersey for my fourth pick to go in and beat Anaheim. Fifth game, I think the fifth game here is the game that you want to watch. If you want to watch hockey on Sunday, I think this could be a really good game. I'm going to call this my best bet as well. It's Washington against Minnesota. Minnesota 6-3-1, current 3-game winning streak. Dubnyk is listed as probable in net, and their last game was a win over Columbus 5-0. Washington 3-6-1, current 1-game losing streak. Holtby is listed as probable in net for Washington, and their last game was a loss to Winnipeg 3-0, where Winnipeg blanked them. I think that's only happened to Washington twice this season, and they're stumbling a little bit too. This is the first time these guys are going to meet this season. Minnesota has scored 17 goals in its last 3 games, so they're finding the back of the net, and that's obviously an ingredient to a recipe to success. And I know a bunch of those were against Detroit, so they don't count as much, but it still counts. Washington at the same time, I think there's enough guys on that team that know that they got to play some hockey if they're going to do what they want to do. But I don't think they're going to do it against Minnesota, and I think Minnesota at home is going to take this game. Best bet, Minnesota to beat Washington. And again, for the regular bets, these are just straight up bets, who's going to win or lose. And then I've been adding at the end of my videos, I've been adding a little bit of what I'm going to place some bets on and see how that goes. Anyway, 6-game last game, Los Angeles against Vegas. Vegas 8-1-1 in their last 10, current 8-game winning streak. First of the Pacific. Fleury's listed as probable, and their last game was a 4-2 win over Buffalo. Los Angeles 5-4-1, current 2-game winning streak. Last place in the West. Quick is listed as probable, and their last win was over New Jersey 2-1. Kings lead the series 2-1. The Knights won 5-2 in October. The Kings 4-3 in November, and again the Kings 5-2 in January. Everyone's going to bet on Vegas here. I mean, Vegas, this is one of those games where Vegas should just win the game. But, I think in a couple videos now I've mentioned where I've watched Los Angeles play a little bit, and they don't look like a team at times that should be in last place because they play some good hockey. It'd be entertaining if they went in and beat Vegas in Vegas, and if you bet on it, I mean, there's some good plus money on there. Anyway, I'm going to take Vegas for the sake of this video. So yeah, Vegas to beat Los Angeles. So just to review those picks quick, I'm going to take Philadelphia to beat the New York Rangers. I'm going to take Florida to beat Calgary. I'm going to take Vancouver to beat Columbus. I'm going to take New Jersey to beat Anaheim, Minnesota to beat Washington, and the Golden Knights to beat the Kings. My best bet is that Minnesota. So I'm definitely not taking the easiest game, and doesn't always work for me, but it's fun. Minnesota over Washington as my best bet. For some bets I'm going to lay, I'm going to take the Flyers money line. I'm going to take Minnesota money line. I'm going to take under 6, which where it's set right now anyway, on the Washington-Minnesota game. And then I'm going to take the New Jersey Devils money line and individual bets, and I'll parlay those 4 picks and see how I do. I hope everyone has a great Sunday and has enjoyed the weekend. Good luck with your picks, and thanks for watching.